Are they sane or are you sane? Are they mad or are you mad? We just need to connect. But we forget we need to connect to ourselves, because if we are not happy inside us, our heart is not happy, we can never be the wind under anyone's wings. We can't even fly ourselves. How can we be good therapists? So let's go to the parts of the uterus. This is how your uterus looks. And for the lady who asked you what the fallopian tube, this is how the fallopian tubes look like, your arms. The little tentacles like here, which can hold the egg and carry it up. And again, look at the word, it starts with the fall. We fall in love. We never rise in love. I wonder from where that came. Because actually if it falls, it's an abortion. So we stick in love, we're interdependent in love, and it's okay to be dependent on someone. Can we say that loudly? It's okay for me to depend on someone. That means I love them. Can you give yourself permission to create interdependence rather than independence? Yeah? How many of you gave yourself that permission today? So these are the 3 parts. So everything that we look in medicine has to go from inside out. Just like when we have to look at our emotions, we have to go from inside out. The innermost organ and the innermost part of the organ is the brainstem. The outermost, the periphery, is the cortex. That was last to form. What you can see outside is all your cortex. Your skin on the top that I can see is your cortex. Your hairs that I can see is cortex. Your eyes that I can see, the part that I can see outside is the cortex. Everything that I can touch, is the cortex. Everything that I cannot touch is beneath that. Does that make sense? So if this is the organ, the outside of the uterus will be the cortex. The innermost, where the endo means innermost, derm means skin layer, and derma means, if I'm going to hold my skin like this, can you all hold your skin like this? The top skin is your cortex. This is epidermis. Epi means around, above. Below that, the thick skin that you cannot hold is your dermis. And wonderful, it's connected. It's all connected. So don't look at things in isolation. So the 3 layers, I've broken them down. Perimetrium. Metrium means a matrix. A matrix that you live in. It's a connection. So don't look at any organ in isolation. The outermost layer is the perimetrium. Myometrium is all about me. That's the middle layer. And endometrium is all about the most inside layer. The topmost layer, all the layers which have got to do with the cortex are mucus. Slimy. Can you touch your tongue? Can you feel that? That's all cortex. When someone is having, let's say, if there's a cake, I smell that, my mouth waters. If I see a man, your sex hormones are going to create a lubrication dam. So it's same, but it's a little different, like Benny says. Myometrium is all about the thicker part that's giving it more shape, more identity. That's why identity conflicts there. The muscle. And the innermost is got to do with the brainstem, which is endo, means right inside. Matrium means matrix. Matrix means we are all connected. Does that make sense? So, again, muscle around the womb, the innermost layer. So the innermost layer is what we're talking about right now. Innermost layer is almost like the red carpet treatment for your child. So that lining that goes out every month is the red carpet for your baby. And blood has always got to do with identity, but blood has also got to do with bloodline. And you have all your generations inside. Welcoming your child, holding your child for 9 months, that's where you get all the information. In Mahabharata, that's one of the epics that we learn, child could be taught inside the womb how to do things. We all know that. If your child can be taught inside, he's also learning from the generations. So people who have problem with this lining and it is very, can't hold the baby, what would that mean logically? Bloodline is not holding the baby. Something is happening where I don't want to hold the child. Something is happening back in generations which I'm not happy about. So it gives me identity, your bloodline, your mother, your first house, what nationality you're going to belong, what name she'll give you. Do you have a hold on that? What nationality you'll be born? Do you have a control over that? Religion, value system that you'll get inside, beliefs, the languages?
Yes.
Yes, of course you can learn more languages. But the basic I'm talking about. Because this is basic survival. You're talking about basic.
That's a philosophical question. Does my mom choose me or do I choose my mom?
I agree with you, Lars. Absolutely. So it's an absolute philosophical question and we're not going to get into philosophy. All I'm trying to say here is, we get a lot from being inside the mother for 9 months. That's all my point is. Like you said, the next generation also. 6 months ahead, in the grandmother. So the first one is endometrial layer. So if it becomes cell plus, it will become thick. And then in 28 days, you will shed it off. Does it make sense? So every month, this layer is becoming big. So in stress, it's adding on. And then you start losing this layer. Just at the 28 days, you will lose all this if you have not conceived the child. I want you guys to just think for a minute, what were you told at the time of your periods? So my mom told me, because I got periods very early, I was just 8 years of age and I was sexually touched. So I grew up very fast. I started my periods and she was horrified. She looked at me and gave me a cloth, like a tablecloth, cut it off and said, use this. And she asked me every day, how much did you bleed? Was it 2 drops, 10 drops, 15 drops? And here I was bleeding like crazy. To make her happy, I would say, Mom, it's just 3 drops. Very good girl. I didn't eat because I thought if I ate, that meant I would be making more blood and throwing off more blood. What does a child of 8 know? If I went to someone's house and that was my grandparents' house, I wouldn't tell anyone that I got my period. I would go and cut their bed sheets off. And of course it would be binned. You were not supposed to actually bin it, you were supposed to wash it and use it back again. I introduced the sanitary towel to my mom. My mom did not introduce it to me. So the little rebel, from the time, from mom not understanding what my needs were, and then standing in my class, because she put me in a home science college, because she didn't want me to connect with the boys, because she thought I'd get pregnant. So throughout from the time that I really grew up, it was a crazy upbringing. To the college that was chosen, to the man that was chosen. Do I have any regrets? I don't know whether I have regrets or not. That was a way of life. For someone it may be, what she's talking about. But for me that was my reality, and I'm sure you can connect with this. Not every one of you in this room were educated properly. And if that was the case, people wouldn't be asking me what's a fallopian tube. Right? We don't know our internals. So, I want you to just take 2 minutes off here and think. How were you told about your period? What were you told about your period? Was it a happy time? Anybody wants to share? We may not have time to complete the whole thing, which I told you right at the beginning. But it's okay, as much we will complete today is fine. Is that fine? I want you guys to understand, not go with just a head full of knowledge. I want you to connect with it. Anybody wants to share? How were you told about your period? What was the reaction? Thank you.
My mom called it a curse.
Your mom called it a curse.
The curse.
Thank you. Anybody else? Her mom called it a curse. And why? Did you ask her ever?
No.
No, we don't ask. Good girls don't ask questions. You're supposed to be quiet. Anybody else? Please, thank you.
When I had my first period, my mom, I came out to her in the kitchen.
She came out to the kitchen.
I came out in the kitchen with blood running, and she said, "Oh my God, child, get off the way before the men can come in."
Very good. She was told when she went out in the kitchen with the blood on her panties, don't go out of the way before men come. Something to hide. Your hiding starts there. Anybody else you were going to share?
My mom told me about it before I forgot it. She said, I hope you're not like your aunt and have really long and painful periods.
I hope you're not like your aunt who has long and painful periods. It's almost like a hypnotic suggestion. And mine doesn't hear not. So it's like saying, all of you, please do not see the pink elephant drinking blue color water. Please do not see pink color elephant drinking blue color water. All of you saw it. Anybody else likes to share? Thank you.
It's when you become a woman